welcome to my vlog to Quito, Ecuador. So in January, was it mid-January this year, I got an opportunity to travel to Quito, Ecuador for work, and the organization I was traveling with booked me on Air France flight to Quito, so I had to go via Paris. Imagine Johannesburg, then Paris, then Quito. It's like around the world, really. So this is me, just landed in Paris. Now I'm trying to find my hotel in order to, shower, freshen up, because I had the longest connection between my flight to Paris and then Quito. I had a good 7 hours at the airport, so I hope you enjoy my vlog this time, my little exploring of the airport facility, and then onward to Quito, Ecuador. My first time in South America, actually. First off, I'm getting myself to the lounge, Eastern Paris lounge, where I'll get to my hotel and be able to freshen up and have some breakfast and explore. So welcome again to my vlog, and let's go. This is called Instant Paris Lounge. I mean, it's a free lounge, but and spacious, quite cool. I mean, look at this spot. Very French. Looks like an apartment or something. So it's my first time actually using hotel's public showers. So it's I guess priced reasonably for the convenience. I think for about 20 euros you get to use their shower facility, and you get free Wi-Fi, and you can use the coffee area as well to set up and work. So yeah, I'm like first time, but honestly it was clean and good enough for me, really. But I got ready to catch up on some work. Very spacious area, Wi-Fi was great, and also got to have some breakfast there as well. Pretty quiet and hey, refreshed. Nice hot shower. Now I'm just trying to find a spot for a little coffee, and then maybe I'll get to do some shopping or something. Now I do drink an insane amount of coffee, but I had like 7 hours at the airport. I could have gotten out, but there was some rioting in Paris, so I really couldn't use my 7 hours to head to shop in like the city centers, because I would have probably gotten stuck at some point there, so I didn't want to risk it. So yeah, I just explored some more of the airport, which I'll share in the upcoming vlog. So I'm ready for my flight at this point. Rainy morning, winter morning in Paris, in my flight, and guess what? No one on the other two seats, so I was pretty happy about that. The food is always great on Air France, I enjoyed that. And it's about 11 hours flight to Quito. safely landed in Quito, Ecuador. It's cold. It's like about 14 degrees, and yeah. Long flight. It was 11 hours, but actually quite pleasant. I'm not that tired, so it's good. Alright, let's go. Okay, so luggage collected, and I'm just waiting to I need to get a SIM card, and then I'll be off to my Airbnb. It's 9 p.m. somewhere there, but so far pretty smooth. I mean, I was able to consign one of my bags here at the airport because I'm only staying for a few days and then off to Colombia. So and then back here for some work. So I had like an extra bag with like more sort of work stuff that I needed to leave behind. So they do have a consignor in place, which is great. Now let's wait. Okay, fam. SIM card sorted, and got myself a taxi, and I'm just on my way to the Airbnb. I just realized that there's no food at the apartment, so the driver was nice enough to stop at this food stalls. I'll get myself some dinner, street food. Yay!
¿Qué quieres comer?
Okay.
Una empanada. Ya mi vez.
So I settled for some cheese empanadas, which they then drizzle some sugar on top of it. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's delicious. It came with the sort of milky thing that which turned out to be too heavy for me. So home sweet home for a few days. Very neat, you know, small little apartment, lock up and go type of thing. I probably do a tour in the morning. It's now almost 11:30 at night. Very quiet street, which I love, and the concierge was actually very nice. Helped me and took me all the way up. They left nice pistachios for me as a welcome gift, which is great. Yeah, so I'll just get settled in and then call it a night. Bye. Bye. So day 2 in Quito. I'm just gonna I first went for a run. It went well, but it was quite difficult to breathe, you know, like Quito is quite high up in altitude, like 2,000 meters above sea level, so it was quite a bit of a challenge, but I did it. It was a nice run. I went for breakfast in one of the local diners or something, and then now I just want to go and check out the city. I've got such a list. Literally, I don't know, that I have to go through today, because tomorrow I'm off to Colombia, and you know, someone's got to do it. So ta-doos!
Ecuatorial.
Okay. Sí.
Allá en Medellín se va a pasar bien bueno porque la gente es muy linda, muy querida.
En 500 metros, en la rotonda toma la segunda salida en Avenida 12 de Octubre.
So, check out this the city. This is the hotel I will be staying in a few days for work. But then now we're going to a museum where we'll get to see the Equatorial line, you know, like literally separating the world in half. Quite excited about that, and then I'll be just hopping in a few spots today. Quite a busy one, but I mean it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. It's very hot, you know, because it was quite cold in the morning when I went for a run. It was like 8 degrees, but we are easily like in the 20s now. So beautiful day. The city kind of reminds me of Cape Town a lot. You know, there's like the mountains and the people, the mix of races. It's strange, but yeah. Lots of tourists and hilly as well. We drove for about 45 minutes outside Quito to the Intinian Museo, which is pretty much the place where the Equatorial line was first drawn, and that's actually how they call it Ecuador. And initially they made a mistake, obviously, over the years with GPS technology. They had to retrace the line, and between the original line and the new line is just a few meters actually. So I also got to see a replica of you know, how the Native American tribes in Ecuador live, because they actually still do live there, and you know, former cannibals and so on. Some gruesome stories, but it was just great to sort of get a feel for the culture and how they mix, you know, with the world that's changed so much. And obviously we got to do all sorts of experiments to see how nature and so many elements sort of react to the Equatorial line, which is very impressive. You know, whichever side of the Equatorial line you are. So here I am. Next, I went to the Quito Basilica. I love you know, traveling and visiting museum and architecture structures, especially in like churches. I just find it so impressive how people put so much work in you know, places of worship, you know, centuries and centuries in the making, and this basilica surely does not disappoint. So it's an absolute must-see when you're in Quito. Access to the basilica is free, but there's so much more to see around. It goes up to about 150 meters high, so just to give you some context, higher than the Sacré-Cœur in Paris, and it's set for amazing views. But that area though, you have to get tickets for about $2, so it's totally worth it. Although I'm like totally scared of heights, and it shows. So I checked out the inside of the church. Now I got another ticket to go to the roof, so I can have like a nice view of the city. Hola. going all the way to that. And hopefully I can make it to, I don't know if you can see it, to the statue over there. Oh, my finger. Okay, so right about now I'm just wondering why I'm here, because I have to go through all of this to see the other side of the tower. I'm shit scared of heights. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's do it. Oh my gosh. Jesus, we have to go up that ladder to the roof. Holy cow. Okay. Okay, I can't film this. I made it up the first tower in one piece. Incredible. So I made it out in one piece, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Now I'm just walking around in old Quito. It's very nice to see, you know, the old city and the architecture and get a feel of like the vibe. Very touristy area, and I heard about this place called República del Cacao. It's a company selling all sorts of coffees from Ecuador, as well as chocolates. Oh my gosh, the smell of this place is amazing. I spent legit, I don't know, maybe a full hour in here, deciding which chocolate I'm gonna bring back, you know, gifts and everything. But they also have a little coffee area and an entire museum dedicated to coffee. So it's really the coffee trade, you know, in Ecuador. So it's worth the stop, if you ask me, if only for some treats to bring back home. So it's amazing. Dessert, I headed over to La Ronda, which is still in the old town Quito. A very sort of high area, you know, with bars and small sort of boutique theaters and a lot of artist workshops as well. Quite an interesting mix to be honest. I was pretty early to the party, so the street is not terribly full, but you have all waiters, you know, trying to pull you into the restaurants and so on. But I was honestly just ready to go back to my apartment at this point. But great vibe, to be honest. So I have discovered this rooftop on top of this building I'm staying in, and I had to show you guys. It's beautiful. It's 6 a.m. I'm on my way to the airport soon. I'm leaving Ecuador to Colombia, but would you just look at this place? It really looks like Cape Town, doesn't it? It's beautiful. And they have this little lounge area also inside, and little rye something, mountains and the city. It's beautiful. Best way to enjoy my morning coffee, that is, for sure. Feel free to check out my Colombian vlogs. I've got two for Medellin and Cartagena. Amazing trips as well, where I spent 5 days in Colombia, then back to Quito. So as I said before, I was here for a work conference, and this is pretty much me back in Quito, first day of my conference, getting onto the bus to leave. Don't get impressed with this whole police escort thing. It's just the organization I was traveling with that set up all of that so that we don't get stuck in traffic. Today at the Global Forum on Development and Migration, and this is actually the work part of my trip. It's a forum where we get to discuss about all things to do with migration, movement of migrants and their contribution to their host countries and development, like their skills and everything, as well as all the risk and danger they expose themselves. So why I'm here is my company, MaxiCash, does we help the African diaspora support their loved ones back home financially. So it's a mobile app to do with payment to like various merchants, say schools, hospitals, and so on. So very relevant to the plight of the many African migrants who are leave their homes but always having to support their loved ones. So yes, so I'm set up all over here. This is my little stand. It's been great meeting people, chatting with a few government officials, understanding a bit their headaches and where I can sort of, as a business, step in from a payment point of view. So We are about to take the cable car. Looks like fun. Let's. Yay! 5 days of conference done and dusted. We on the cable car or teleférico to explore some more of Quito, Ecuador. Met up with some friends from like all over the world really, just checking out the city. I made it to 4.1 meters, 4,100 meters above sea level. It's beautiful. This Congolese girl is lost in the mountains. It is beautiful. It's a bit tough to breathe, but made it. Okay, time to go down now. Can you see how beautiful this is? Over there is the town of Quito. That's the cable car station over there. And yeah, just gonna slowly make it down and go back to the city. So cool. I might just take a photo with a llama. Hopefully they don't charge me tourist price. Well, that's definitely gonna happen. But let's see. Yay! I did get my picture with the llama. It was only $1. And back in Old Town Quito, in front of the San Francisco church. Churches in Ecuador really make it difficult. Every church is just as beautiful as the next. Just a few hours left in Quito at this point. And how best to end this trip than having one last meal with the guys and then head to the airport. Thank you so much for watching my vlog and supporting me. Do like, subscribe and share this video and drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the trip and see you next time. Blessings.